Hello everyone, today I'm here with Jonas.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
And today I'm going to be asking him questions about will you snail. But first, to those people who don't know who you are, can you give us a little introduction of who you are and what do you do?
I'm an indie game developer. I've been making games for a very long time, and I have a YouTube channel about game development where I share my game dev journey, share absolutely everything I learn on the way. That's what I do. I make games and YouTube videos.
Okay, so let's get to the more important questions. First, I'm going to ask you, what games have you worked on in the past?
When I got started making games, I've made a lot of small games that I didn't really finish. In terms of big releases, there's pretty much only Islanders. That's the only commercial game I've published. That is a game I've made with two of my friends in game school. I studied game design in Berlin, met two very nice people there, and we made Islanders together. So that is my only commercial release so far. At the moment, I'm working on Will You Snail, which is a solo project. And I hope that will come out this year. Not entirely sure, but I definitely hope so.
Well, you
See
just
how it goes.
answered some of my questions. Even if it was me
I'm
asking
I'm
them.
oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. I guess this just skips us the time.
Okay.
Um, what is the game about?
Will You Snail or Islanders? I mean, Will You
Will
Snail
you
probably.
snail? We're going to talk about Will you snail
Okay,
today.
perfect. Yeah, Will You Snail is started out as a rage game. Originally, I just wanted to make quick, fun, fun little rage game. But then over time, it turned into a bigger and bigger project. Now it's not really a rage game anymore. What's left from the original idea is the AI, because in the original idea, an AI tried to predict your movement and spawned traps in order to annoy you. So that is basically the unique selling kept to this day, where you go up against a superhuman evil AI that tries to predict your movement and then makes traps appear all over the place. And when it gets you, it mocks you. I got you. So yeah, it's human versus AI. And it has some rage game elements for sure. You die a lot. It's a little frustrating, but for the sake of accessibility, I added difficulty setting. So even if you're not super good at platformer, still play it. And then people started asking me about lore, like where does this AI come from? So now I had to implement some lore, and yeah, slowly but surely it's turning into something very different, but still something very cool. And so mostly it's a game about artificial intelligence, about the future of mankind. It's a fast-paced platformer.
Alright, wha- I'm going to ask a very important question that probably a lot of people are asking. Why is the character a snail?
That's a good question. The character is snail. I mean, at first the character was a snail because it was just random. I wanted to make a viral rage game. Thought, yeah, what should we pick? Let's pick a snail that's sort of random and maybe lead to some funny memes or whatever. So I didn't really think about it all that much. But I think for some reason the snail still fits the theme of the game quite well, because you're going up against superhuman evil AI, and basically the way the AI sees you is as a snail, because humans are so slow and dumb. And the entire game is taking place in a simulation. So the AI just gave you a snail as an avatar to basically shame you and mock you for your slow brain.
It kind of reminds me of this one game I once saw on Steam called CrabDub. After the video,
Mm-hmm.
you should check it out.
Yeah, sure. Do
I mean,
that.
it's not the
Maybe.
best, but it has a
How's it called again?
Crab dub.
Type it in.
Okay.
Crab dip.
Yeah, I know. Weird name.
Okay, maybe I'll have to send me the name later. Ah,
Okay, sent it. Okay. How did you come up with the idea for the game?
that is a very good question. Said it started out as a pretty random rage game, so at the beginning I basically just mixed random ideas together. But how did I come up with that idea of the AI trying to predict your movement and spawning stuff in real time? Actually, no idea how that happened. I mean, probably some of my favorite games had a bit of an influence on that. Like, I'm a big Portal fan. I also really like the Talos Principle. And both of those games deal with the topic AI quite a bit.
I guess the
Maybe
Portal.
that's where it came.
I guess Portal sort of kind of explains why the AI has a voice.
Yeah, exactly. Because I really liked GLaDOS in Portal. Thought it was a pretty entertaining part of the game to hear his funny voice lines. And in Will You Snail, I'm pretty much trying to do the same thing, but to make the AI a bit more reactive, so it's not always the same voice lines, but the voice lines depend on what you do and how you die.
You made a video about that.
Exact.
Okay.
I found Crab Dub on Steam. It looks interesting, an interesting art style.
Indeed.
The snail looks sort of similar to mine.
It looks like it has a giant shrimp on its back.
Yeah, exactly. Quite.
I'm not sure if the game has any story. I haven't tried it out. It looks pretty weird. So, your game is going to be the second one with a snail in it. How do you feel about that?
I mean, there are a lot of games out there.
But not as
I'm
popular.
fine with that. There can be multiple games with snails. There can be multiple games with AI. I mean, there are so many games with human characters. Like, we don't ask those games. How do you feel about being the 10,000th game that has human main character?
But humans kind of make sense, but like having a snail just is pretty random. I mean, it's not wrong. The idea is pretty cool with having a snail.
Oh yeah, okay, I get your point. You're probably right. Yeah.
Okay, so are you proud of what you made so far with the game?
Partially yes, partially no, but mostly yes. I would say I've definitely made a couple of mistakes during the development, but overall I'm pretty happy with how it's together. I'm currently mostly in the polishing phase. I mean, all of the levels are more or less done. The content is more or less done. I've implemented a level select screen, and now I'm just making a little nicer, implementing a bit more lore. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of how the game's coming together. I mean, there's still a lot left to do, and I could have saved some time if I had done some things a bit different early on. For example, it would really have saved me a lot of time if I had just written out more of the lore early on, because now fleshed out the lore a bit more, but some of the voice lines just don't fit that new lore anymore, so I'll probably have to change them. And yeah, so if you do some proper planning, you can definitely save some time.
Alright, that's a good thing.
That's pretty much all I regret.
What programs did you use to make the game and what are you using currently?
So I've started making games with Game Maker Studio, and that's also what I'm using to make Will You Snail. Islanders were created in Unity. But I really like Game Maker for smaller 2D projects. And at the beginning, I thought it would be just a small 2D project because you can put stuff together really, really quickly in Game Maker. And so Game Maker was at the beginning the obvious choice for this project. And as the game grew bigger and bigger, I didn't really feel like changing the unit anymore. if I make another big commercial game, I definitely want to go for Unity next time because it's just a little more comfortable to work with that on bigger projects. I like GameMaker for smaller projects. Unity just
Rest in
has a
peace, Godot.
Godot, yeah, Godot. I mean, I'm not really sure about that engine because I haven't used it a lot. That is the main reason why
I mean, you
I'm not
made one
talking about it
video
that much.
on it. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I tried it out for one video, and I think it's actually pretty good.
Um,
Thing is, there's not really a reason for me to get any deeper into Godot because I already have
I mean,
2 engines I can
for
use.
views, you could make more videos on making games in Godot. That would probably get you some views from the Godot community.
Yeah, that's true, but that would also scare off the Unity community.
But why not try
So
mixing
that's a
like
trade-off.
video with Unity, video with Godot, and all sorts of stuff?
Yeah, that might work. I'll have to think about that. But in general, as I've said, if you already know 2 engines, there's not really that big of a point in learning any additional engines if you're happy with the engines you know and you can use.
I'm actually currently using Godot, and it kind of reminds me. I mean, the language is very easy in my opinion, because it's like this small program called Scratch in which you can very easily make games, and I just consider Godot very easy, so I'm currently using it.
Yeah, I mean, Godot actually also feels kind of similar to Unity. It has those different components that you can attach to your objects. You can build everything in a very modular way. I really like the way Godot is set up for sure. And you think it's a beginner-friendly choice as well? It's easy to learn?
hmm
Okay.
I'm a beginner, so and it is pretty easy in my opinion, so it's okay. Instead of jumping right into Unity, because C Sharp is quite harder in my opinion. Meanwhile, with Godot, I can already fix some errors by myself.
Unity can be a bit overwhelming at the beginning.
At the
Certainly true.
That's what. At first, I wanted to use Unity, but I just couldn't understand the code, so I am now trying out Godot. And actually, there is a video on another guy I interviewed a while ago, Artin. They are discussing the pluses and minuses of Unity and Godot, so that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Okay, so on to the next questions, because I feel like we just made this one too long. Do you think people will enjoy the game after you release it?
I think it will be a bit mixed. I feel like a lot of people are a bit frustrated by the gameplay because it involves a lot of dying
So
and
kind of like Cuphead?
yeah, kind of like Cuphead, but the difference is that levels in Will You Snail are extremely short. So the frequency you die in is very high. Basically, like a Cuphead level is more like, I don't know, 3 minutes, whereas in Will You Snail it only takes you 10 seconds and you either die in those 10 seconds or you make it through the level.
Oh god, I
So
can already imagine you
that
speedrunning it.
sorry.
Drink some water. Rest
Okay,
in
I'm
peace,
fine.
Jonas.
I'm still alive. Yeah, so that for some people that just feels like running into a brick wall basically because you keep trying and then after 3, 4, 5 seconds you're instantly dead because there just comes a random spike out of the ground that predicted your movement and then you have to start over. So for some people that will be uh, maybe a bit frustrating, but for others I hope they will really like the game because I really like the game. I think it's a pretty unique experience altogether. It's not something I've seen in any other game before.
Okay.
So it will probably be a bit split, but as long as there are people who love the game, there it's okay if not everybody loves.
That's pretty cool, I guess. After you release the game, are you planning on making any updates, or will you just jump onto another project instantly?
I would say that really depends on how the game performs after launch. Like if nobody is interested, receives really bad ratings, people don't like it at all, then I'll probably just let it be and move on to something else. If it's really well received, then I might update it for a bit longer, maybe add a couple of additional bonus levels or whatever. But one thing that makes updating the game a little tricky is translations, because the game will be available in multiple languages. So every time I add new text or new voice lines, they have to be translated, and that is
I mean,
a lot of effort and takes some time. So
you can ask
if I do
someone
a
to help you instead of.
yeah, I'm doing that on my YouTube channel. I've asked people to help me. It
Oh,
is absolutely insane how many people reached out to me and are helping with the translations. It's absolutely crazy, and I'm so grateful for everybody
now that
helping
I
with
think about it,
translation.
maybe I could help too.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, a lot of the languages are already pretty much covered, but
We will
w
see.
we'll see. Yeah,
We'll talk
let's
about it
talk.
after the video.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess these were all the questions. Thank you very much for answering some very important ones, like why the hell is the snail a snail? And I guess
Yeah,
that's it.
thanks a lot for having me. It was a
Yeah,
pleasure.
it was a lot of fun. Don't forget to check out Jonas's channel in case you aren't already subbed, which makes you weird because everybody pretty much knows Jonas. So, goodbye.
Bye bye.